Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The UK has become the first country in the world to approve a pill to treat COVID-19. The tablet, called Molnupiravir, will be given twice a day to vulnerable patients recently diagnosed with the disease. It's being touted as a game-changing discovery. The drug, which has been closely tested, has been proven to reduce the chance of dying or being hospitalised by half in those most at risk of developing severe COVID symptoms. Health Secretary Sajid Javid said the treatment was a game-changer for the most frail and immunosuppressed. More than 40 countries have agreed to end the financing of fossil fuel projects abroad during the fourth day of the COP26 in Glasgow, among them the UK, Poland and Vietnam. The deal is based on the shared idea that in order to reach the zero emissions target by 2050, countries need to boost renewable energy sources worldwide. However, many of the world's biggest coal-dependent countries, such as Australia, India, China and the US, haven't signed up to the pledge. Meanwhile, protesters have found a rather creative way to make their voices heard at COP26. Around half a dozen people dressed as Pikachus, which is a type of Pokemon of course, to demonstrate against Japan's continued use of coal-fired power stations. They're calling for the government in Japan to phase out coal by 2030 at the latest. A 36-year-old Australian man called Terence Darrell Kelly has been charged with the abduction of the 4-year-old girl Cleo Smith, who was found safe and well on Wednesday.
What's your name? What's your name, sweetheart?
My name is Cleo.
Your name is Cleo.
Hello, Cleo. Yes.
The moment she was rescued has been released, as has footage of her being taken out of the house by police. She disappeared from her family's tent at a campsite on the 16th of October, triggering a massive search. 18 days later, she was found in a house in Carnarvon. The man has been charged with forcibly or fraudulently taking or enticing a child under 16. More than 800 migrants have been rescued from several boats in the Mediterranean. More than 400 of them were saved from a dangerously overcrowded boat that was close to sinking on Wednesday night. The rescue boat CI-4 arrived shortly after and provided the migrants with life jackets. The German ship said it was now heading to the southern island of Lampedusa and was waiting to be assigned a port of safety. The UK's Brexit minister has met France's Europe minister in Paris in an attempt to resolve a dispute over post-Brexit fishing rights. Lord Frost has travelled with the hope of easing tensions between the countries. France threatened a series of measures against the UK unless more fishing licences were granted to French boats by the 2nd of November. The US envoy to the Horn of Africa is visiting the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa to press for a peaceful solution to the war in the north of the country. It comes as video released by Tigray TV showed forces from the group marching in 2 towns it said it captured over the weekend. The broadcaster is not recognised by the central government, which disputes the claims. Tigrayan fighters have made some advances towards the capital in recent fighting. One of Facebook's earliest investors has labelled the social media giant's plans for a Metaverse as dystopian. Roger McNamee founded a venture capital firm which invested $210 million in Facebook shares in 2009 and 2010.
Our company is now Meta.
Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook was rebranding to Meta last month. McNamee said he was not convinced the Metaverse would be safe without regulation. And finally, the South African author Damon Galgut has won the prestigious Booker Prize for fiction at the 3rd attempt for his novel The Promise.
Is The Promise by Damon Galgut.
Galgut, who was previously nominated in 2003 and 2010, picked up a £50,000 prize. The Promise is his 9th book and follows the decline of one South African family over 4 decades from the apartheid era to the present day. The author said he was really profoundly, humbly grateful for the award.
This has been a great year for African writing, and I'd like to accept this on behalf of all the stories told and untold, the writers heard and unheard from the remarkable continent that I'm part of.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.